Hey everyone, welcome back to When Saturdays Come with me, Grbic. Firstly, can I just say a massive big thank you to the Sheffield United women's team last night and head coach Ash Thompson, Ben, Lindsay and Kate Atkinson. We had a great watch along for the England-Wales game, meeting those guys and the players who are going to be playing next season for the Sheffield United women's team. We had a good chat with Ashley about the disappointing end to last season with the women's team. They were all disappointed, but they've recruited well this year, and they're looking forward to working with the new guys who have just come in. And they're back training, I think, today as well. They've had all the tests and stuff like that, and they're really looking forward to a new start, get some confidence going with the new team and the new players, and rebuild. Go another rebuild. They've invested wisely, so it was good to talk to them and talk to Ben and Lindsay and Kate as well about doing some videos for the women's team as well, which I think I'm going to do some interviews with Ash and the players in the new season coming up. I think there's a bit of talk on where they're going to be playing all the games at the minute. I don't think they finalised everything they will obviously be playing some games down at Bramall Lane, but I think they're talking about some games to be played at Sheffield FC in Dromfield, and I think there's a bit of talk about as well. Nothing's been finalised yet, by the way. Under 23s might be playing a few games there as well. But the women's fixtures come out, I think it's around July 26th or something like that. But it was really interesting chatting to them all, getting to know them, and hopefully we can do some good videos and promote the women's football team down at Sheffield United, which they deserve. They're all part of the football club, along with the men, along with the under 23s. So, and the women's team as well. So let's get down to Bramall Lane and give them all the support that you can. And we'll try and get some videos out there with some interviews with the players and obviously with manager Ash. So, moving on, we've got to talk about Grbic. And I don't want to talk about Grbic, but unfortunately, I've got to say a little bit. And I don't like doing it. I don't like talking about him. I don't want him in my headspace because it's just not for me, and everybody's different. I've got my views on it, and a lot of other fans have as well. But if you saw that out, what the rumours what have been coming out at Bramall Lane, they're a bit on social media sites. One of the other channels put out, who would you have like as a second choice, Grbic or Davis? You know what we on about? Why would we even considering having a second choice? There is only you won't be having Grbic. What is that mindset that you'd give somebody a second chance? My only logical explanation to that is that nobody else wants him, and we lumbered with him on a contract, a player who we don't want, who's not good enough. And why are we persevering with him? Why don't we just pay him up and let him go and get another keeper in? This guy, I mean, we've got this AI module. He was signed before we actually started using it. But if they run it past him to see how he is, I don't know. We wouldn't be signing him, would we? Listen, look, it's very. I don't like criticising our players or managers or anything like that. It's just an opinion that I've got. It's my view. But I know 99% of our fans will give everybody a chance. No matter who it is, if you're a Sheffield United player and you give it 100% and you do your best and you try, we haven't got a problem with that. But you've got to have some ability as well. But this guy is just not a goalkeeper, is he? He's just not. Who says he's a goalkeeper? What is the out? I've not seen anything. He can't even tie his shoelaces. He can't even get down to tie his shoelaces. I feel I'm a bit harsh. I know it comes across as a bit harsh, but unfortunately, he's not the guy for Sheffield United. Why are we paying a wage to somebody to sit on the bench all season? And he's not going to get a game only friendlies. Perhaps a cup game if he's lucky. and we've got Adam Davis, we've got Faxon. If we're that desperate, get another keeper. But we're paying a wage to somebody who's clearly not good enough for Sheffield United. And it's only my opinion. Oh, you tell me what you think. Put them in comments. Let me know. Because if I'm wrong, I'll hold my hands up and I'll say, sorry guys, I've got it wrong. He's a world beater. He's a good keeper. He's better than Cooper. Should be playing in first team. Or whatever. I'll accept that. I'll take it on chin and I'll move on. But I can't have it when we've got to be carrying players like him in our squad who is not remotely good enough to play for Sheffield United. So, that's all I'm going to have to say on it. I don't want to say any more because I don't want him in my headspace because he's just not, it just doesn't excite me as a footballer, a goalkeeper to play for Sheffield United. So we'll move on. We'll not talk about him anymore today. I can't be doing with it. He'll probably play at York tomorrow anyway, or whenever. But back opposition to score if he's in goal. That's all. I shouldn't say that. But it's true, isn't it? I'm only saying what I think. But anyway, let's talk about something else. Blaster did a good interview out with Rob Staten out in Girona, and he talked about all the highs and all the lows of his comeback, and the difficulties with that, and when he wants to, when he's due back, he's talking about mid-September or a little bit earlier. But what I would say about that, I would say don't expect too much too soon from Blaster. I think he's got to be eased back into it. He's had a nasty long-term injury. He's done fantastically well to get back to where he is. He's had all the highs, he's had all the lows. There might be setbacks along the way. He might have had a setback along the way. I think he did actually, a little one. But, he's going to be eased back in. He might get 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes here and there until he's back up to full fitness and full match. Full match, now you can do 90 minutes and stuff like that again. So, let's be patient with him. We want him back. We want the old Ollie Arblaster back in midfield, playing alongside Pecky or whoever else comes in. But it'd be great to see him back. I know he can't wait. He's anxious to get back. We're anxious to see him back. But I just urge York fans to err on the side of caution for a little bit, give him every opportunity, and let him ease his way back into the team and get back to full fitness, and where he's going to be bang on it again and driving us forward from midfield along with City or whoever else is in midfield, Callum, O'Hare or Hamer. It could be an exciting midfield, couldn't it, if we get one more player in there to help us all along. There was another interview come out with James Oliver Pearce, the assistant manager. He talked about Ruben Sayers. He was saying, like, what you see is what you get with him. He's passionate, He's really aggressive in where he wants to play his football and how he wants to play. What you see is what you get with him. And a little bit of an insight from James, how Ruben Sayers. We all do our little bit of homework. I do my little homework on where they want to play. But as I said before, it'll all boil down to what we see on pitch. No matter when all the talking stops, when all the speculation stops and all the hearsay stops, and I'm no different to anybody else. I'm just as anxious to see how we're going to play and what positions certain players are going to play in, if we're changing the formation a little bit. I know he said about Gus playing a more central role. That'll be interesting. So, obviously a couple of players are going to be coming in. I was hoping we were going to get one in over line over the weekend, but that's not materialised. I think it's agents and stuff like that holding things back, and other stuff which we can't really talk about. It's all about money at the end of the day, isn't it? Where a player wants to play, and they get offers all the time. They change their mind. But it is positive that we are getting to that point where we will be bringing somebody in soon, or at least two players, I think, soon. So we'll look forward to that. What I've done, actually, I've added Blasters and Oliver Pearce's interviews on. They're not the full interviews, they're just part what which Rob Stainton did. So it gives us an insight to where they are at the minute, Ollie and Ruben Sayers. So it could be an interesting start. Hopefully tomorrow, when they get the fitness games back on at York, isn't it? And then it's York. Who's after York? Is it Rotherham? I think it's Rotherham, isn't it? But I'm going to do a Sheffield under 23s game on Friday down in Dronfield when they're playing Sheffield FC. So I'm going to do that on the Friday. I'll do Rotherham on Saturday. Then I think it's Burton on the Tuesday and Chesterfield. I think that's in right order. I'm not sure, but you're going to tell me if I'm wrong. But thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you don't think I've been too harsh on Grbic, but it's just my opinion. I can't help it. I say it as it is, whether I'm right or wrong, and I'll try and be honest. But thanks for that. I really appreciate it. All the best to the Sheffield United's women team coming up, and we'll hopefully get some more videos on them coming up in the not too distant future. So up the Blades, I'll speak to you soon, and I'll chat to you later.
You've worked very closely with Ruben before. What kind of a manager is he?
Really passionate, really aggressive with how he wants to play. The biggest thing for me with Ruben is what you see is what you get. He doesn't change who he is regardless of who he's speaking to or who he's working with, so you always know where you stand, and I've found that to be the case for players and for us as staff. The biggest thing for me was probably the alignment in style. We have a clear way of seeing the game. Every now and then you'll challenge certain ideas, but ultimately we want to play football in a similar sort of way. So yeah, it's been great working for the last few seasons.
What do you make of this challenge at Sheffield United? Because as a coaching team, you've had some big challenges together already. This is a slightly different one, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a different challenge. We've been able to navigate through some really challenging circumstances with some of our previous clubs. They're quite well publicised, obviously. In this challenge, we know that there's a different type of expectation, but an expectation that we want to thrive in. At Reading, towards the end of our time there, we were in and around the playoffs, and that ability to keep pushing to make sure that you're getting results that keeps you up the top end of the table is something we really enjoyed and something that we have huge ambitions to make sure that we're doing at this football club.
I think I've thought about it for the last 8 months. Yeah, it's hard not to. I feel like I'm someone who always tries to, when I'm feeling a bit negative about things, I always look at what's to come, and when that moment finally does come, with all the setbacks and highs you do get throughout the journey, like it'll make it all worthwhile when I finally do walk back out at Bramall Lane. Yeah. I have good days and bad days, I suppose. Like my close family, my missus and stuff, they'll know that. They've probably seen me lower than I've ever been, and all this because obviously football, it's our life, and we revolve everything around that. And then when that's taken away from you, because I've never had a long-term injury, when that's taken away from you, you find yourself wondering like, what do you do today? What are you going to be doing next week? Which is tough, but when you've got good people there, they're around to pick you up, and then yeah, it's going to help build me as a person, and it makes me more determined just to come back, and I'll be more hungry to be better, and yeah, I'll take every day as it comes.